Now, 3 men with ties to recording artist Rod Wave are in jail. This comes after a shooting just outside the Sonic Sports Bar on Easter Sunday in St. Petersburg. Rod Wave, whose real name is Rodarius Green, was arrested on a weapons charge but has since been released.
So police say he was initially detained based on inaccurate information and later clarified he was never a convicted felon.
Kevondre Wesby, Keith Wesby, and Christopher Adkins were all arrested following a shooting that took place on Easter Sunday in St. Pete. 4 people were shot, and police say the suspects were driving cars and staying in homes under rapper Rod Wave's name.
We don't know if he was there that evening when shots were fired. We don't know if he had anything to do with it at that point. It's more the fact is that you have vehicles, you have residences, you have a complicit here to where we have to kind of just show, and we can't ignore it.
Wave was arrested on a possession of ammunition by a convicted felon charge, but he was released when police learned he is not a convicted felon. The ammunition was allegedly found during a raid on one of the homes connected to the shooting suspects and rented under Wave's name. 2 homes have been identified in connection to the shooting suspects, and police say both are tied to the rapper.
The same day Rod Wave reached the pinnacle of his music career, he was thrown into a jail cell. One moment he's celebrating a Grammy nod, the next mugshot charges chaos. But what really happened that day, and why are his lawyers calling it a setup? Rodarius Marcel Green, better known to millions as Rod Wave, has always carried pain in his voice. He raps about heartbreak, betrayal, and survival because that's exactly 7th, 2025. His story hit a brand new twist. The Recording Academy had just announced its 2026 Grammy nominations. Rod Wave, for the first time ever, was on the list, nominated for Best Song Written for Visual Media. His track, Sinners, a raw, emotional anthem, had finally earned him industry recognition. Fans were ecstatic. Rod even posted a cryptic smiley face on his Instagram story, hinting at the win. But just hours later, everything flipped. That same afternoon, Atlanta police officers arrested Rod Wave in Fulton County, Georgia. The charges, not just 1 or 2, but 4 serious counts. Possession of a controlled substance, Schedule 2. Possession of a controlled substance, Schedule 5. Possession of a firearm or knife during the commission of a felony reckless driving. A Grammy nod in the morning. A felony rap sheet by evening. Now, let's rewind for a second. Rod Wave isn't new to legal trouble. In fact, this was his 3rd arrest in Georgia this year alone. Earlier in 2025, he'd faced charges related to battery and parole violations. But what makes this arrest different is the timing. Think about it. How does a man go from music's highest honor to handcuffs in just a few hours? That's exactly what Rod's legal team wants to know. In a fiery statement, his lawyers accused the Atlanta PD's crime suppression unit of targeting him unfairly. They didn't hold back, calling the arrest unlawful, quota-driven, and an embarrassment. According to them, Rod was pulled over without probable cause, no warrant, no reported crime, just a convenient traffic stop on the same day his name hit national headlines. And here's where it gets deeper. Sources close to the case say police allegedly found prescription pills and a legally registered firearm in the vehicle. Rod was not under the influence. He was cooperative. No one was harmed. No violent behavior. And yet he was booked and held until he posted an $8,000 bond the next day. So what exactly did police expect to find? Pattern interrupt. Let's zoom out for a second. Rod Wave's music isn't just popular, it's personal. He taps into a pain most artists never touch. His lyrics reflect trauma, depression, abandonment, and survival. And that authenticity is what's built him a loyal fan base of millions. But that same vulnerability makes him a target. From high school arrests to near-death experiences, Rod's rise has never been clean. Fame didn't erase his past, it just put it under a spotlight. And now, with the Grammys in play, some wonder, was this arrest meant to sabotage his momentum? It wouldn't be the first time a rising black artist faced legal setbacks during career highs. We've seen it before. XXXTentacion, Kodak Black, even Tupac. The pattern is undeniable. But let's get back to the charges. Schedule 2 substances include things like oxycodone and Adderall, often legal with a prescription, but illegal without. Schedule V includes low potential drugs like cough syrups with codeine. The firearm charge, it hinges on whether officers can prove Rod was committing a felony while armed. If the other charges don't stick, that one likely won't either. As for reckless driving, well, that's vague. There's no dash cam footage released yet, no public body cam, just officer reports. And yet, this entire situation could derail everything. Rod has a tour planned for December. Album teasers were already dropping. And now every headline is about his arrest, not his nomination. But here's what makes this story truly wild. Pattern interrupt. The arrest didn't shock Rod. He expected it. In an unreleased IG live from hours before his arrest, Rod reportedly said, "They hate to see you win. I ain't even tripping. I know how this go." That video has since been deleted, but fans who saw it claim he looked tense, on edge, almost resigned to what was coming, almost like he saw the setup coming before it hit. So what happens now? Rod's lawyers have filed for immediate dismissal of the charges. They're pushing for suppression of evidence, claiming the stop was unconstitutional. If the judge agrees, this whole case could vanish. But if it moves forward, Rod could face up to 10 years if convicted on all counts. Let that sink in. 10 years for pills and a gun in the South, where gun ownership is common and often legal. The difference? Fame, skin color, timing, because whether you're a fan or not, you have to admit the timing is insane. Imagine waking up to a Grammy nomination and ending the day in a jail cell. Pattern interrupt. But maybe that's the point. Maybe this is about more than charges. Maybe it's about control, about reminding artists like Rod Wave that no matter how high they rise, the system still watches. And maybe, just maybe, that's why his music hits so hard. Because Rod Wave has never rapped about being untouchable. He raps about being targeted, about feeling cursed, about praying for peace in a world built for chaos. Now that chaos has arrived again, so what does the future look like? His team says he's moving forward. The tour's still on. The Grammy campaign will continue, but fans are worried. Because if the past is any indicator, this won't be the last time Rod faces something like this. His pain is real. His past is messy, but his voice, it speaks for millions. And whether he walks free or ends up in court, one thing is clear. The system hasn't heard the last of Rod Wave.
Well, this morning, a Grammy-nominated rapper from St. Pete is facing gun and drug charges. Atlanta police on Friday arrested Rod Wave, whose real name is Rodarius Green. Now, charges include reckless driving, possession of controlled substances, and possession of a gun or knife during an attempt to commit felonies. Jail records show Wave was released this weekend.